Welcome back to Scott's Winning Sports Today, ladies and gentlemen. I am back here with my NFL and college football predictions for this year. Tough loss for the race this week. Our offense just couldn't do anything in the postseason like they could in the regular season. It was a little bit of a learning experience for this team. My buddy Riley Carey nailed it right on the head when he told me that we were inexperienced this year, and that was the main reason why we didn't win that series. And my buddy Brad thinks Alex Cord is cheating again, so we'll see what happens with that. So let's get into my NFL and college football predictions for this weekend. First game out tomorrow night. Two games tomorrow night on ESPN and CBS Sports. First game out, Cal and Oregon in Eugene. I'm going to take Oregon at home. I think Oregon needs to win here to get back into the race for the college football playoffs. So I'll take Oregon at home to get it done against Cal. Next up, San Diego State going on the road to take on San Jose State. I'll take San Diego State. I think they've been looking pretty good this year. Currently undefeated, so I'll take San Diego State to get it done over San Jose State. Now into the Saturday games. First one out, UCF heading on the road to take on Cincinnati. As much as I would love to see UCF win this game, I have no faith in this team right now. I'm going to take Cincinnati at home. I think Cincinnati is a much better team than UCF is right now. So I'll take Cincinnati at home to get it done against UCF, unfortunately. Next up, Florida and LSU. Should be a good matchup here. I'm going to take Florida to get it done on the road. I think Florida's the better team than LSU is right now, so I'll take Florida on the road to get it done against LSU in Baton Rouge on Saturday. Next up, Michigan State heading into Indiana to take on the Hoosiers. I will take Michigan State on the road. I think Michigan State's playing very well right now. Should be a little bit higher ranked in my opinion, but that's just me. I'll take Michigan State on the road to get it done against Indiana on Saturday. Next up, Oklahoma State heading in to Austin to take on Texas after that heartbreaking loss last week. I'm going to take Texas at home. I think Texas is going to rebound after that heartbreaking loss last week to Oklahoma. I'll take Texas at home to get it done against Oklahoma State. Next up, Auburn heading in to Fayetteville to take on Arkansas. I'm going to go with the Razorbacks at home. I think Arkansas has been playing very well this year. I'm going to take Arkansas at home to get it done against Auburn. Next up, Texas A&M heading in to Mizzou to take on Missouri. I will take Texas A&M after that great win last week over Alabama. I think that they're going to start off a little bit slow this week, but I think they'll get it going as the game moves along. So I'll take Texas A&M on the road to get it done against Missouri. Next up, Purdue and Iowa. I'm going to go with Iowa. I think Iowa's been playing great all season. Great defense. The offense is still a little bit suspect, but the defense has led this team to where they are right now. So I'll take Iowa on the road at home in Kinnick Stadium against Purdue. Next up, BYU heading on the road to take on Baylor. I'm going to take Baylor at home. I think Baylor's had a tougher road to get to where they are right now than BYU has. So I'll take Baylor at home to get it done against BYU. Next up, Alabama looking for a rebound after that tough loss last week over Texas A&M. They head into Stark Vegas to take on Mississippi State. I think Alabama's going to be a very good team this week. I think Alabama's going to be very upset after what they saw last week in College Station. So I'll take Alabama on the road to get it done against Mississippi State here on Saturday. Next up, TCU and Oklahoma should be a good matchup here. I'm going to take Oklahoma at home. I think Oklahoma finally found out the offense last week. Finally put up some points last week and covered the spread for I think that's the first time this year. I'll take Oklahoma at home over TCU. Next up, Ole Miss heading in to Knoxville to take on Tennessee. I'm going to go with Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss has been playing very well this year. I think Josh Heupel has done very well for Tennessee in his first year. but I don't think they're good enough right now to get a win over Ole Miss. So I'll take Ole Miss on the road to get it done against Tennessee. Next up, NC State heading in to Chestnut Hill to take on Boston College. I will take NC State on the road. NC State's looking very good this year, so I'm going to go with NC State on the road to get it done against Boston College. And for the final game of the week, well, the second to last game of the college football season weekend is it'll be Arizona State heading in to Salt Lake City to take on Utah. I'm going to go with Herm Edwards and ASU. I think ASU's been looking very good this season. They've looked good all season long, so I'll take Herm Edwards and Arizona State to get the win here on the road against Utah. And now the college game day game of the week. College game day is going to be there bright and early Saturday morning, as it'll be Terry Jewell's beloved Kentucky Wildcats heading into Athens to take on Georgia. And unfortunately, Terry, I don't think your Cats are winning this week. I'm going to take Georgia at home. I think Georgia's defense is just too much right now. I think Georgia is the #1 team in the nation right now because of their defense. And once they get all these guys back on offense, I think this will be a very dangerous team. So I'm going to take Georgia at home to get it done against Kentucky. Now into the NFL games for the weekend. Starting off with tonight, as it'll be Tom Brady and the Bucs heading into Philly to take on the Eagles. I'm going to go with Tom Brady and the Bucs to get the win here on the road. I think it's going to be a little bit of a slow game tonight because we're without Gronkowski, we're without Lavonte David this week, and we're without Sean Murphy Bunting this week. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to take the Bucs on the road to get a win in a close one here against the Eagles. Next up, the Dolphins heading into London to take on the Jags. Give me Tua and the Dolphins to get the win here over Jacksonville. I think the Jags are just a mess right now, so I'm going to take Tua and the Dolphins to get the win on the road against the Jags. Next up, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers heading in to Soldier Field to take on Justin Fields and the Bears. I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers on the road. I think the Packers are the better team here. So I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers to get it done on the road against Justin Fields and the Bears. Next up, Joe Burrow and the Bengals looking to rebound after that heartbreaker last week. They head into Detroit to take on the Lions. I'm going to go with Joe Burrow and the Bengals to get back on track here. I think the Bengals are a much better team than the Lions. Even though the Lions have had a couple of close losses this year, I'm going to go with Joe Burrow and the Bengals to get the win here on the road against the Lions. Next up, the Houston Texans heading in to Indy to take on the Colts. Win or go home situation for both of these teams here at 1-4. I'm going to take Carson Wentz and the Colts to get it done here at home. I think the Colts are a better team than the Texans, so I'm going to take Carson Wentz and the Colts to get it done at home over the Texans. Next up, the LA Rams heading into New York to take on the Giants. Give me Matt Stafford and the Rams to get it done at home on the road in a pretty much a blowout this week against Daniel Jones or Mike Glennon and the Giants. Next up, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs looking to rebound after that loss last week against the Bills as they head into Washington to take on the Washington football team. I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to get it done here on the road. I think the Chiefs are a better team than the Washington football team is. So I will go with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to get it done against the Washington football team. Next up, the Minnesota Vikings heading in to Charlotte to take on the Panthers. I'm going to go with Sam Darnold and the Panthers to get it done here at home. I think Christian McCaffrey should be back this week. Give me the Panthers at home over the Vikings. Next up, probably the game of the week, in my opinion. This game should be a primetime game, in my opinion, as it'll be Justin Herbert and the Chargers heading into Baltimore to take on Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. Give me the Chargers at home on the road here in Baltimore. I think the Chargers are just a little bit of a better team here. I'll take the Chargers on the road to get it done in Baltimore against the Ravens. Next up, the Arizona Cardinals heading in to Cleveland to take on the Cleveland Browns. I think this is the last week that we'll see somebody with a 0 in the loss column. I'll go with Baker Mayfield and the Browns to get it done here at home. I think the Browns are a very good team. I think they're a little bit upset with themselves after how bad that defense looked last week against the Chargers. So I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield and the Browns to put the first loss on Kyler Murray and the Cardinals this season. So give me the Browns at home over the Cardinals. Next up, the Raiders heading in to Denver to take on the Broncos. Too many off-the-field issues this week for the Raiders. I'm going to take Teddy Bridgewater and the Broncos to get it done here at home against the Raiders. Next up, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys heading in to New England to take on Mac Jones and the Pats. Dallas favored by 3.5. That is a slap in the face for the Cowboys. I think they should be favored by at least 7 points here. I'm going to take Dak, Zeke, and the Cowboys to get it down here on the road and make it 5 straight wins for the Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys on the road to get it done in New England against the Patriots. Next up, in a game that should not be in prime time, but it is this week, it's going to be the Seahawks heading into Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. I'm going to go with my buddy Terry Joe's Steelers here at home. I think the Steelers are a better team than the Seahawks are right now, especially with them going with their backup quarterback this week. I'm going to go with the Steelers at home over the Seahawks. Now on to Monday night, a pretty good game on Monday Night Football this week. It'll be Josh Allen and the Bills heading in to Nashville to take on Derrick Henry and the Titans. Give me Josh Allen and the Bills on the road. I think the Bills are a much better team than the Titans because of their defense. So I'm going to take the Bills on the road in Nashville on Monday night against the Titans. And that will do it for this episode of Scott's Weekend Sports Today, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for my whimpering dog in the background this week. I'm going to try and keep her out of the room next week, and I'll see you guys right back here next week on Scott's Weekend Sports. See you later, guys.